Everybody, welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a Honda Civic Ep2 first car review, and I'm going to be going over some points about the car if you're looking at getting this as your first car, why you should buy one, and the positives and negatives of owning one, and everything about the car really in general. I do have some other videos about this, going over some other stuff like 5 reasons why I like and dislike this car. So yeah, please check them out on my channel. So yeah, we'll start up and set off. You may also hear the new M2 mid-pipe that I've got installed at the moment, so sorry if it is a little bit loud for this video. So yeah, the first point I want to make about this car is the aesthetics of this car. So it is what I want to go over first. So obviously everybody has their own opinion on about the cars and if they look nice, but I really do like this car. I just think it looks really nice and it does look quite sporty, and yeah, it's just quite a nice car. It's quite low, and generally I just think they look really nice cars, being a Civic. So yeah, the next point I really want to get into is the gearbox and the handling of this car, and the engine as well, and everything just in general. So the gearboxes on this car are generally quite solid, and I can't really say that I've had much experience with other ones exactly. If you are following the channel, you will know that before this I actually had a Fiesta. So technically it's not my first car, but yeah, it's just the main first car that I've had that actually, you know, works, I guess you could say. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, the gearboxes on these cars are really solid, and as well, if you do know about Civics and Hondas in general, the engines are built to last. You can get these from, you know, to 180,000, 200,000 fairly easily, as the engines are just amazing on them, and they just last forever. So yeah, the handling as well, it is quite a short steering rack on this car, which means that you don't get the best manoeuvrability out of it. So kind of if you are trying to get into a tight parking space or anything like that, manoeuvre around a car park, it is going to be a little bit of an issue. So yeah, that is one thing to look out for. But general handling on the road, it is quite nice, because you don't have to actually put much input into steering because of that. So yeah, it's just really nice to drive and you know, for handling and everything. So yeah, moving on to the insurance side of things with this car, it is in Group 13, Category 13, you know, whatever you want to call it really, Group 13 on the insurance. So it's not actually that high. To say it's a 1.6, and it is a sport model, of course. But yeah, overall, the insurance on this car wasn't actually a massive amount more than my Fiesta, 1.2 Fiesta that I had. So it is actually a pretty reasonable price on the insurance for this car, which is definitely a positive. And again, to say that it is a 1.6 sport, I don't know why that is. I guess it can just depend on a few other factors as well. It does depend, you know, on many things to what quote you will get at the end of the day out of this car. But generally, they are a pretty competitive price compared with some other cars, especially stuff that is less powerful. So yeah, these are like Corsas and Fiestas, you know, it's going to be a pretty similar price. So you are getting your money's worth, which I will go on to in a little bit as well about that. So yeah, they are pretty good price. I'm with Adrian Flux at the moment. I would highly recommend them. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. If you do want to sponsor me, contact me. But yeah, Adrian Flux have been amazing so far. You know, their insurance plan that I'm on at the moment, it really is quite amazing. And yeah, as I've said, it is a pretty good price. So yeah, I would recommend them. So yeah, other things to consider with price and costs is the fuel on this car. Obviously, with it being a 1.6, it's not going to be the most economical car, where you might get 50 mpgs or 60 out of something with a smaller engine in it. But you can expect to be paying a little bit more on that side for fuel. Usually a full tank in this, for me, is about £48 I think, £50 from pretty much empty to full. So yeah, that's how much it costs for fuel. Sorry, I just met a van came out of nowhere there. So yeah, that is how much it will cost roughly to fill up this car. I think you can get, I think it is, it says about 450 miles out of this car, something like that. I'll put it on the screen, I'm probably wrong with that, but it's not actually anywhere near that, to be fair. You know, you're not going to get that out of it. But yeah, so that is one thing to consider when looking at this car, that on the fuel side of things it will be a lot more. So yeah, other things to consider about this car, as it being a Honda Civic and it being quite an old car, you know, early 2000s, it is going to have quite a lot of mods available for it, and they are going to be relatively priced quite cheaply. You know, they're going to be affordable for most people to buy, you know, so wheels and kits for the car, well, I wouldn't say kits exactly, but other parts of the car are quite affordable, which means it's quite a nice and easy car to mod and to put bits on it. So for styling things on the outside, you know, there's a lot of bits and kits and bodywork parts, you know, for it as well. So that is one thing I will be looking at personally to do with this car and for the channel. So yeah, that is just another thing that you can look out for on this car, that mods are available. I know most people won't want to do that because they'll have to, you know, add it on to the insurance and it will cost a bit more. And yeah, but I just think personally they do make the car look a little bit nicer. Like I've got the Mugen wing on, not the Mugen wing, sorry, the EP3 wing, the Type R wing. So yeah, that's another thing I've got on. I just think the spoilers do look a bit funny on them when they come stock. I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, that's one thing that I think is, you know, a little bit of a downside for this car, but that's just my personal opinion. So yeah, moving on to other stuff, the positives and negatives of this car that I've found out from owning it for quite a few months now. So the positives of this car, I would say, is obviously the gearbox. It is really nice gearbox, it's so nice to change gears in. It's quite a short shift as well, so it's just really nice gearbox to have, and it's really smooth and fluid. So yeah, another thing is the steering, as I was saying, going around corners and, you know, general handling, it's really nice just to have, you know, quite a short steering rack on it, so you don't have to actually put much input into it to go where you want. So yeah, and just the general handling of the car, I think it's really nice. And yeah, the mods as well I was on about is fairly cheap. So yeah, there's some positives. There will be probably quite a lot that I've missed that I'm just not thinking of right now when I'm making this video. But yeah, there's many other positives that you will find with this car. The negative side, I would say, is the downside of the turning circle that you have. It's generally not a good thing on Hondas or Civics to have good steering, turning circle, sorry. So yeah, that is one thing that you're going to have to look out for. So if you don't like manoeuvring around in, you know, car parks and that stuff, then this car's probably not for you, because it's yeah, you do have to do quite a few shunts to get around. Other negatives are the spoiler I was on about. The standard one does look a little bit funny. It does not look like it should be on a sport model. I don't know why, but it just looks a little bit, I don't know, out of place. It's not even like a spoiler, it's like a little filler bit for the boot, I don't know. But yeah, it just looks a bit funny, I think. And that's about it. I can't really think of anything right now that I would put down on this car, really. So yeah, I think that is pretty much everything I want to go over in this video. So yeah, if you did enjoy watching this video, please do make sure to drop a like on it, and a comment would be much appreciated as well. And if you do want to see other videos about my Honda Civic Ep2 and other things to come on the channel, please do subscribe, as there will be many videos to come, working on it, putting mods on it and other things, talking about it. So yeah, please do make sure to subscribe and do all that. But yeah, generally I would recommend this car to anybody who's looking at getting one. Oh, sorry, actually, I nearly forgot to mention the price. That's probably a good thing to mention. So yeah, you can get these from about £500 up to, you know, 2,000, I would say, is what you're going to be looking at, and they generally range from about 60,000 to anywhere to 200,000 miles, that kind of price bracket. But it really depends on what you're looking at, what kind of mileage you're looking at, and how them things match up. So yeah, just have a look about. You can have a look on eBay, Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, dealerships. You can look at as well to see if there are any for sale. Yeah, but there's quite a lot on the market generally. You know, they're not hard to come by, but it's kind of just finding the right one that you want. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to do all the things that I've just said a minute ago. So yeah, I would recommend this car. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.